Oh, welcome in. Your eyes do not deceive you. Sometimes Mikey P's got to sit in the host chair. Welcome in. I am Mike Pendleton. This is Coach and Company for the final day of 2025. We had a meeting here at the brand and we said there was no better way to close out 2025 than more cash tickets and yours truly running the show. So, no coach today, but I've got three of the very best cappers and entertainers with me here today. But before we get to them, let's recap because we must look back before we can look forward. Not a great day. And I think this recap screen may tell you why Coach took the day off. 0-2, 4-6 as a team, but yours truly held it down 2-0. No big deal. Hold your applause. Just you see it, and producer man. Thank you, producer man. We didn't really need to see it. I just told everybody. If you guys want to become a part of the brand and everything that we are doing here, you can become a premium member. You will see the QR code right there. Merch to be determined coming soon. That is how you can stay on top and involved with us here at the brand. Premium pop-ups, live betting, tons of cash tickets, a lot of great storytelling, just overall a lot of fun. All right, it is the final day of 2025. And Coach let me run the show. I think we're going to have a lot of fun. We've got college football playoffs. We've got New Year's resolutions. It is F Day. It's a rant Wednesday. What are our final rants of this year? That'll be coming up in about 30 minutes. But for now, it is time to beat the books. I mean, who doesn't want to hang out with this crew on New Year's Eve? I can think of a few people, but that's neither here or there. Let's get to our hellos, and obviously on New Year's Eve, you start with the Godfather, the pinky ring, all of the above. Mr. Tommy C, how are you, sir?
How are you, Mikey? How are you, fellas? Last day of 2025, out with the old and in with the new. Is that what they say, right?
That is what they say. Raphael, good morning, sir. You are our numbers guy for a reason. What are you looking forward to in 2026?
Be alive, cash some tickets, eat well. I mean, it's pretty much 2026. Hopefully, is a better year for the Cubs, some of my other teams I like to follow. But I'm excited that today is here. We have some really good bowl games, NBA, NHL, all on the schedule today in college hoops. Some nice matchups: St. John, Georgetown to close out college basketball tonight. Should be a really fun day.
The energy, Raphael, I can feel it. It's just jumping off the paper. My guy, also wearing, I'm not wearing a Bears hat today. He's wearing a Bears hat, the one and only of BetMGM tonight, the executive producer of BetMGM tonight. Brandon, how are you, sir?
What's going on, Mikey P? What's going on, fellas? Tommy C, I don't care what year it is. We are never going out with the old, sir. Not when you're around.
Agree.
Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. We're not doing that. All right. I'm not going to have you sit on this show with the Godfather himself and say anything with the O word. All right. Do you see that, man? Do you see that young man atop from you, Brandon? Respect your elders. What are you doing?
I just did respect him. I said we're not
You
going out
called
with
him
the
old.
old.
No, he's right.
Tommy,
I'm old too.
Well, I know that, but we weren't going to talk about it. We weren't going to talk about it, right? Listen. Let's just move on. Tommy, I'm sorry for the disrespect. Raphael, stop agreeing with everything Brandon says and stop disagreeing with everything I say. Guys, we needed a bounce back day, and I don't want to say I strong armed coach into having the spot today, but when the hottest capper gets put in the ice bucket, and yours truly goes 2-0, I need you guys to let's show this team how it's done. We've got best bets from all four of us. Raphael, I'm going to start with you. What do you got today?
Since coaches ain't here, you know what we're doing? We're doing two underplays. That's right, underplays to close out 2025. We're going to take Nebraska, Utah, under 51.5 in the bowl game today. You know what? There's been 33 bowl games this year. 20 of them have gone under the total. So just play the under pretty much every game, and you'll probably have a winning day. I have no idea who's going to be the quarterback for Nebraska. Probably TJ Leftstiff. But he's going to have a long day because Utah defense is going to be running him wild. I like the under net 51.5. And then I said it. The last college basketball game today, St. John's, Georgetown. Under 155.5. Did the odds makers watch the last two games last year they played? Let's see. Georgetown won 66-41 at Georgetown and 63-58 at home. And this total moved 3 points this morning. Give me the under. St. John's defense, really, really good. All their last 6 games, all 6 of them have gone under the total.
I like those plays to an extent, but an under. I see what you're doing. You're trying to get away with some tricky stuff. We'll handle that after the show, Raphael. Big Tommy, one play and one play only. Where are you going today?
I'm going with the Spurs money line minus 135. The Knicks have lost each of their last 6 road games against the Spurs, teams that have held a winning record. And both teams have winning records. They're both 23-9. But I think the Spurs will win tonight.
You guys feel that? You guys take it in. That is a big Tommy C fun fact, and it's the last one of this. You're not going to get one until next year. Oh wait,
nope.
That's tomorrow. I am the guy who runs with that corny joke every single year. Brandon, don't shake your head at me. What do you do? I'm trying to set you up for greatness here. I like your plays today, but I'm not sure I like your attitude right now. What do you got today?
I'm the one wearing a dad shirt, and you're the one going out with dad jokes. Come on, man. All right, let's go to the only college bowl game that matters tonight, and that is the college football playoff game. That is the Cotton Bowl. That is Ohio State versus Miami. I'm going to take Ohio State to run away with this thing. Ohio State minus 9.5 is the play. Carson Beck, you saw what happened to him against the Texas A&M defense. Imagine what's going to happen to him against the best defense in the country in Ohio State. I'm going to take Carson Beck under a half a touchdown. That is at plus 190. I don't think they get in the end zone today. I think it's a shutout.
Bold statement, but the reason I like it is, number one, I can't stand Miami. Shout out to Soupy. I see you in the chat. But Caleb Downs, Brandon, has been one of my favorite players all college football season. If he didn't play safety, if he was a middle linebacker, we'd be talking about a bona fide top 3 pick. Do you think we would see Caleb Downs in the top 5 at least, even though he's a safety?
Probably, because I don't think you're going to see a lot of quarterbacks go in the top 5 this year, because there's a lot of teams picking in the top 5 that believe they already have their quarterback.
Looking at you, Big Tommy. See, you guys could have just wrapped up the number 1 pick, but you had to beat the Raiders. You just had to show the pesky Raiders.
My team can't do anything right. Let's just face it. It's just ridiculous.
Well, Brandon, because you were on the show today, I went ahead and made one pick especially for you, and that is the Pelicans on the money line against the Chicago Bulls. No Kobe White, no Josh Giddey. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Derek Queen Show. And surprisingly enough, Zion Williamson, whether he's coming off the bench or limiting his minutes, Raphael, you're down there in that area. You know the Pelicans have been playing much better, and so has Zion. So give me the Pelicans at plus money here, and then the Timberwolves. Listen, I'm just trying to speak it into existence. Minus 5.5 against the Atlanta Hawks, who get Kristaps Porzingis back today. I don't think it matters. Timberwolves roll in this one. Raphael, surprised by that Pelicans being plus money?
No, if Giddey out as well with Kobe White, I can see that the Pelicans already beat the Bulls there before, so it's not like nothing's new to that. And even though the Pelicans have lost 4 straight after they've won all those games, they're still playing much better with Zion in there. He led the team in scoring, I think, almost 30 points his last game. I like the Pelicans tonight.
Yeah, I forget who their last game was, but it was just like bully ball after bully. It was almost like, wow, this is what we've been waiting for.
Yeah, it was against the Knicks.
Against the Knicks, and it was like, I forgot Zion could play basketball this way, and he looked very, very good. So we'll see how those. I'm feeling a 7-1 day. I don't know. I'm just gonna shoot high for my expectations. Today, guys, because it is New Year's Eve, and I just want to have some fun because I feel like we should go out having fun on the last day of the year. I wanted to bring in what the holiday is. And I know, Brandon, you absolutely love the New Year's Eve resolutions and all of that. But before we start making resolutions, let's take a look back. And Tommy C, when I ask you your favorite sports moment of 2025, what jumps off the paper for you?
Well, My Yankees shit the bed. The Celtics shit the bed. So my favorite moment is the New York Metropolitans not making the playoffs the last day of the season with the $800 million man Juan Soto. That was such glee for me in 2025.
There's like no hard feelings that Juan Soto left the Yankees and went to the
Not at
Mets.
all. Can you tell? No, not one bit.
I don't want to say it, but it's kind of right there. Raphael, you also love something that happened on the diamond this year, but on the other side of the country.
Yeah, I love watching greatness. I had season tickets to watch Michael Jordan play many, many games, and I just enjoy watching Otani play many, many games. Watching him play all season, especially in the playoffs, where he hit 3 home runs in one playoff game, fantastic. Oh, and I think he pitched that day too. Just fantastic watching Otani play every time he's on the mound or at the plate.
Raphael, it's very kind of you not to just talk about Shohei, but you talk about witnessing greatness and you used to have season. You have a daily ticket to greatness right here at the brand. And I'm not even talking about me. I'm just saying, as a brand, you're welcome, Raphael. Listen, it's hard to deny what Shohei Otani has done over the last 4 or 5 seasons. I mean, it's just remarkable, but definitely an incredible season this year. Brandon, I have an idea where you're going, sir, and I'm going to let you have the one shining moment that I would have picked.
Yeah, look, it's got to be what just happened just a couple of weeks ago right here in the beautiful city of Chicago. And that is the pass from the Iceman. The hands in the pocket, the little shiver. I loved it. That pass to beat the Green Bay Packers from Caleb Williams to DJ Moore was absolutely the best moment for me as a sports fan in 2025. And I know I had the Cubs in the playoffs. I know that, we've had all sorts of other things go on. But that moment, that one single moment, if you could have seen me, if there was a camera on me, we would have went viral because I was going absolutely insane, busted a ceiling tile in my basement. It was something.
Was it like just completely busted?
Yeah.
Yeah, I love it. I mean, the Bears put together a fan video of celebrations after that. So that's a very good pick. I would not have wanted a camera on me because I don't need to be called out for how I reacted to that play. It's a very, very good pick. And by the way, for everyone in the chat,
ADC, help us out.
we didn't even have to acknowledge because I would like to give my favorite sports moment of 2025. Brandon, see what you did there? Don't ruin my flow. I'm over here trying to make sure I don't have to talk about what happened last week, and you're acknowledging her presence. If you guys in the chat have any of your favorite sports moments of 2025, feel free to pop them in the chat. For me, guys, it's the Bears, obviously. It's Ben Johnson. You talk about a guy who, at his introductory press conference, walked in and said, "All right, thanks, guys. Now let's get back to work." And that's been his mindset each and every single day. It's nice for the first time since before I was born, 1985, that the Bears have a head coach with charisma, with personality, with fire, and also a coach that makes his players believe in one another and believe in themselves. So for me, it's just the NFL is better when the Bears are doing well. I don't think that's debatable. The city of Chicago, Brandon can speak on this, is on fire when the Bears are doing well. And it all started with the hiring of Ben Johnson. 100% my favorite moment of 2025. But now, after we look back, we must look forward. Raphael, what is your sports New Year's resolution for 2026?
Let's see. I've been in the sports gaming industry for almost 30 years. It's the same one. You want to cash more tickets and you lose more tickets. It's plain and simple, but I'm hoping that just have a great 2026. A lot of down moments in 2025 and in my industry as well. So I'm just hoping for a positive 2026 in my industry.
Big Tommy C. I know you just want one thing and one thing only for 2026. What is it, sir?
Let's face it. My Yankees could win more than 5 games. The Celtics could win more than 5 games. So, you know what my resolution is? It's in the NFL to please have my New York Giants win more than 3 games, get a great coach, get a great defensive coordinator, and get a great pick in the draft. That's what I need. I'm tired of losing. I'm tired of having 3-win seasons, being tops in the draft. Can I get at least 7 wins next year? That's not asking too much.
You want 7? Not
Oh,
6.
no. I'm not going.
Ah!
You know what? I'm gonna go next because Brandon, I feel like you deserve the last word on New Year's resolutions. And for me, guys, listen, for the Boston Celtics, Tommy, a team you just mentioned, if you look at the standings right now on December 31st, to the surprise of many, they sit with the 3 seed in the
Yep.
Eastern Conference, and that says a lot about the East more than it does about the Boston Celtics. But what I would like to see, no matter when Jason Tatum comes back, I know he would like to say in March. I know the team probably is saying April, but let's actually put together a competitive roster. Not to say the roster is bad right now, but instead of tanking and saying, we'll wait for Tatum next year, put together a winning team so when he comes back, you just insert him back into the lineup. And who knows? We're seeing in the NFL so much parity in the NFL this year, a lot of surprising teams. The Celtics could be one of those teams. So actually invest in this 2025 2026 season. That's all I'm asking. Plus, I want something to do in April and May. If you know, you know. All right, guys. Before we get to our rants, Brandon, I saved the best for last because I think you have all the positive feelings about New Year's resolutions.
Yeah, no, New Year's resolutions are stupid. They're dumb. Nobody ever follows them. Everybody, I'm going to lose weight. And then the next day, they're freaking scarfing down donuts as they're relieving their hangovers. But I'll give you one, though. My resolution is to try to get Jed Hoyer out of Chicago. To try to get Jed Hoyer away from my Chicago Cubs. The guy with the smallest GM balls in baseball. That guy needs to go. And this might even turn into a second rant because Jed Hoyer does not know how to build a winning baseball team. And yes, I know they went to the playoffs last year, but the things that he did, the things that he's doing now, we went and got Kyle Tucker. We traded pieces to get Kyle Tucker, and then we're not extending him. And how are we going to replace Kyle Tucker's bat? We believe that those answers are internal. So you're going to put all that pressure on Owen Casey and all these guys who you refused to trade at the trade deadline last year. And then when you brought them up, you didn't even play Owen Casey. You brought him up for 9 games, and he started 2. And then you sent him back down. You didn't even trust him to play last year. You didn't even bring him up in the heat of the playoff race. But you're going to trust him to be the guy that takes over for Kyle Tucker? Maybe he hits, maybe he doesn't. But go make the splash move. There's no reason why you should be being outspent by the Chicago White Sox, the San Diego Padres, and all these other small market teams. But you do it year after year, Jed, because you want to be the smartest guy in the room. How about being the GM of the 3rd largest market in the country and spend some damn money, sir?
Well, I think more people would accomplish their New Year's resolutions if they were as passionate as you, Brandon. And it was a nice little tease, a little sprinkle of what we do here every single Wednesday in honor of the brand's great friend, Howie Schwab. Producer man, it is time for a little F Day Rant Wednesday.
Good morning, guys. Welcome to the first F Day. Welcome to the first F Day. Pardon me.
I always feel like we're gonna get the full unedited version one time. Just one time, I feel like producer man's gonna go, oh damn, I hit the wrong one. But guys, this is it for 2025. All the rants, and I've been with this brand thankfully since about April. All these rants we've heard week after week after week. I am begging you guys, the absolute best rants of the year. Otherwise, I don't want to hear your rants until next year. Like literally, you guys can keep them. Raphael, yours is so specific that I have to start with you. Brandon, stop.
I'm changing my rant.
Raphael, not only do the Lakers have Luka and LeBron on the court, they also have DeAndre Ayton, and I'm pretty sure he's the best player on the court. Is he not?
Yeah, last night I was going teeter-tottering on my rants. Should I rant about people who spend thousands of dollars on fireworks on New Year's, or should I rant about SEC football and bowl games who they are 0-4 against non-Power 5 teams in bowl games? But then I saw DeAndre Ayton play last night for the Lakers. How are you 7 feet tall and only grabbed 2 rebounds in a game? He just didn't do that once. He did that 5 days ago, only having 2 rebounds. You are 7 feet tall. You should just fall down and maybe grab a rebound. He had 7, 26 minutes and 2 boards, and they lost yesterday at home. DeAndre Ayton, what are you doing? I thought he was going to be okay for the Lakers. He had some good games, but boy, last night was a flop. 2 rebounds and 7 feet tall.
I think he had more fouls than rebounds.
Yes, more fouls than rebounds. Yes.
I mean, listen, that's a former number 1 pick you're talking about there, Raphael. But you know what? Sometimes people are one and done. You think they're great. You move all your chips into the middle of the table and you go, this is our guy. So Tommy C, coming over to you. What's got you fired up today?
I got to tell you, I live in the tri-state area. I listen to WFAN. The talk on the radio the past couple of days is about Mr. Aaron Glenn. Let's face it, folks. The Giants are a dumpster fire, right? But if you're a Jet fan, it's an inferno over there. At least the Giants have something to look forward next year. We got Dart, Scatterboo. We got Carter. We'll get a good coach. But Aaron Glenn is just a mess. He came in here with a house of fire, claiming all these things were going to happen with this team. He could be one and done, folks. The team is terrible. What do you have to look forward to as a Jet fan? Who? What players? Besides Wilson and then the running back hall, they gave up Quentin Williams. They gave up Sauce Gardner. Aaron Glenn, it just seems lost, and he could be one and done. He could be with Rich Kotite and Adam Gase. You want to be put in that category? Because you're a great defensive coordinator doesn't mean you're a great coach, and it's proven it now. And we'll see on Black Monday if the Jets Jets are done with Mr. Aaron Glenn.
Yeah, I saw a highlight reel of all the Jets' shining moments this year. And the only highlight I saw, Tommy C, was Aaron Glenn running down the sideline with his pants 3 sizes too small for his skinny little legs. I that's all they got. I mean, that is legitimately all they got.
They're in big trouble, dude. Big trouble.
They lost that game too.
And they did lose that game. Brandon, I would know they lost that game if I just went back, looked at the week, looked at the schedule, and looked at the box score. What's got you fired up today?
TV analysts, sports analysts, all these guys that go on national networks, radio, TV, and only look at the box score. Look, I know it's impossible to watch every game. I know that you can't see everything and anything on the field. But just say that. Say, hey, look, I didn't get a chance to watch this game, but here's what I think about what I saw from the box score. Instead of going out here and giving out opinions, I'm hearing guys talk about guys like Caleb Williams, guys like Bo Nix, all of these quarterbacks who are having pretty damn good seasons on pretty damn good teams, talking about, oh, these guys aren't that good. I look at this and I look at that. You look at their completion percentage and what they're doing. First of all, Bo Nix has a really good completion percentage, but his adjusted completion percentage, which is what you should judge a quarterback by, is so much higher. It's over 80%. Caleb Williams, sure. Has he only completed 60% of his passes this year? Sure. But his adjusted completion percentage, 72%. You know what adjusted completion percentage takes into account? Balls you throw away, when you're getting hit as a quarterback, dropped passes, the times that you spike the ball, all the things that go negative against a quarterback when they shouldn't go negative against a quarterback. You hit a guy in the hands, he drops the ball, it goes against your completion percentage. But it doesn't go against your adjusted completion percentage because you were actually on target. The guy just dropped the damn ball. Ask Lamar Jackson if he wants that throwback to Mark Andrews last year to get into the Super Bowl when he dropped the damn ball. Watch the games, guys. If you know what you're talking about, you're giving an opinion, watch the game.
I mean, Raphael, does Brandon have a point? You have 19 monitors in your office there.
Well, I think a lot of problem in our industry, and not just gaming, in the sports industry, people are just reading off their screen and not really actually watching games or making an opinion of what they actually watch. I tell people I don't watch live games. I pretty much record them, or you can watch them on YouTube and all that, because fast forward is your best friend when you watch a game. You don't have to watch commercials, injuries, anything. Just fast forward. So that's how I watch all the games, not live. I just watch them through the fast forward button.
They literally have platforms where you can rewatch a game in 10 minutes.
Yes. Thank you. I can't think of it. I was trying to think of a platform. I still can't think of it, but there is a platform.
Brandon, before I get on my rant, I want to give you a Raphael clap because you brought up a stat that not many people know about and you explained it thoroughly with the adjusted completion percentage. And that is something, if you guys watched the Sunday night football game between the Bears and 49ers last Sunday, Chris Collinsworth was talking about, oh, Luther Burden, he's got 3.2 yards per route. And Mike Tirico was like, so what does that mean? And Collinsworth stumbled over the explanation and goes, it just means he's really good. And that's not even my rant. I just wanted to call Chris Collinsworth an idiot for that. Guys, here is my rant. And it's not too far away from you, Big Tommy C. And it is with a team and a franchise, a dynasty that is crumbling. And it's not the Kansas City Chiefs, because I would never do that to you, Coach, because I like my place here with the brand. I'm looking at the association, and I'm looking at the Golden State Warriors, even more so Draymond Green. If you guys saw their game a couple days ago, which we featured in Sound Off, Draymond Green is at the free throw line and tells Mr. Whammy, a Brooklyn Nets superfan at 89 years old, sit your old ass down. If you guys have never seen Mr. Whammy, he stands behind the basket and he goes like this while everyone's, shooting free throws. How about this, Draymond Green? Why don't you be on a team that's more than just one game over 500? Why don't you do more than average 8 points a game, 5 rebounds, and 5 assists? Why don't you try to score in double digits? Why don't you try to play defense and stop getting offended when people leave you open for 3 and you got to flip them the bird because you actually made a shot? God forbid, Draymond Green. And one more thing, Draymond Green, why don't you go sit your old ass down? Because no one wants you anymore. You're fighting with Steve Kerr. No one actually cares that the Warriors are crumbling. We just want Steph Curry to go out with a little bit of respect that's being lost because of Draymond Green and his foolish acts. Guys, I just can't do it anymore. Producer man, I need to see everybody because I'm going to pass out. I cannot do it. Tommy, please tell me you back me up and you hate Draymond Green too.
Oh, I can't stand. I think he's just an arrogant SOB who just bogarts everybody, and he's a big bully in the NBA. A big bully. Can't stand him.
I mean, he's a triple single guy, Brandon. He is a 5, 5, and 5. When he retires, they're going to have a promo for him at Subway. I just can't stand this guy.
Promo at Subway is crazy. My favorite, that might be my second favorite thing that's happened this year. I might have a second thing that happened this year because when Wemby dunked on him, that was fantastic. Look, I'm not a big Draymond Green guy either. I don't hate the guy, but I watched him play basketball and I watched the things that he does. And he's, you know who he reminds me of? Dennis the Worm Rodman. That's who he reminds me of. A guy who's just going to get into your head, but at least Dennis Rodman was good.
Yeah, Rodman was real good. Yeah. He played defense, dude.
Yeah.
Draymond doesn't play defense like Rodman or rebound like Rodman used to play. I watched those games.
I'll play devil's advocate. I kind of like Draymond Green because you know what? His antics gets the NFL out of the limelight. Sometimes we're talking about Draymond Green and the NBA instead of talking about spring practices or the NFL draft or something like that. Sometimes his antics kicks the NFL off the limelight and we're talking about NBA and not the NFL 365 days a year.
That's the NBA's fault.
Raphael, that's fair. But, however, as a Chicagoan yourself as well, Raphael, please correct Brandon. I understand having a player that can get inside your head as an opponent, but we cannot compare Rodman and Draymond. I mean, these two are completely.
I'm not comparing them. I said he reminds me of him because he gets in your head. He likes to bully you. He likes to talk to you and push you around. That's what Rodman was about. But Rodman was also good at basketball. Like that's don't get me wrong. I'm not comparing them two players at all whatsoever. And Rafi, look, the NBA's fault. If you don't have anything that's compelling enough to get out of the way of the NFL draft, you might have a product problem.
Well, you know what, Brandon? Why don't you stick around? We're going to continue to school you all day. Big Tommy C, I know you got to get out of here. Thank you so much for everything today and this entire year. We will bid you farewell. We will see you in 2026. Producer man, let's just keep the teaching lessons going. We've got one big college football playoff game and a few big bowl games. It's time to go back to school. right, guys. Just the three of us, the rest of the way. Brandon, I feel a little disrespected by you earlier in the show. You said the only bowl game that matters. How dare you? So I'm actually going to start with Raphael because Raphael, we've got our first game. It's Iowa and Vanderbilt kicking off at 12 noon Eastern time. And look, we all forgot about Diego Pavia, right? We forgot Diego Pavia, the football player. And for that reason and that reason alone, I think Vanderbilt should be coming in with their tail between their legs, with their heads down. I love Iowa here from not just a betting perspective, but from a football perspective. How do you think the public is going to take in this game today?
Well, first, I just thought of a good T-shirt idea. All bowl games matter. That's we should have a T-shirt on that one. But I agree. I love this bowl game because I also love the under. Iowa's defense is going to put Vanderbilt in check. I just think the defense is going to control the tempo, and we've already seen the Big Ten flex their muscles against the SEC so far in this bowl games. I see another one. I love Iowa today just because of their defense. It means a long afternoon for Vanderbilt.
Brandon, I know you're rocking Hawkeyes gear every once in a while on these shows. Are you a believer in Iowa today?
I am a believer in Iowa today. I think that defense that they have is legit, and they've also got an offense that's finally legit. And I think people look past that. I know this is an SEC school. I know it's Vanderbilt. I know it's Diego Pavia. I know they had a great year. But Diego Pavia is not focused on this bowl game. Diego Pavia is not focused on football. Diego Pavia is focused on building his brand and the nonsense that he's been. He was on WWE the other night. He was, throwing guys back into the ring. He's doing all sorts of other things other than focusing on football. I think Iowa wins this game.
And I'm right there with you guys, but Brandon, let's just keep it right here for a couple moments because I do think the overwhelming narrative in this game is Diego Pavia, obviously a Heisman contender. And if you're saying he's worried about his brand, well, I don't think he's a top 2-round, 3-round pick. I think he's a late day 2 pick, if that, in the NFL draft. Do you think Diego's got to give it all in this game to help his image in the public?
Diego Pavia equals Johnny Manziel. That's who Diego Pavia is. He's just a guy who's more worried about his brand. He loves what he's doing. And, sometimes there's nothing wrong with that. He's not an NFL quarterback. He's just not. He's going to be a guy that maybe they draft, they take a chance on. I don't think he ever gets off a practice squad.
Raphael, your thoughts? Does Diego play on Sundays next year?
No, I think he's the hype because of his name. I mean, he was an okay quarterback, but I could think of a lot of million quarterbacks in college football that I think they were better with him. But his name wasn't Diego, and his mom wasn't good looking. So I just think he's an overhyped athlete, and he went to an SEC school.
He's
Whoa.
4'4".
Whoa, Raphael, we don't talk about people's moms on this show.
I did.
What are you doing? What are you doing, Raphael?
If you're gonna show someone's mom at least 4 to 5 times in a game, then you have to mention it.
All right, fair point. Now, on a betting perspective, Raphael, let me ask you this. When you have a figure that's so polarizing like Diego Pavia, Joe Public, as you love to refer to them as, how do they look at a game like this with Vanderbilt? 2-1 favorite here. Diego Pavia is the name that everyone wants to bet on. But how does the public take in a game with Pavia on the field, possibly his last game on the field?
Well, after Tennessee lost yesterday, I think they play in a conference that means more. Everyone started pounding Iowa, so it's a little scary that Joe Public is on Iowa after that game we saw last night. So I'm a little bit scared on this one, but I just think defense wins this one because we've seen unders fly all bowl game season. This is a dead under with Iowa winning.
Brandon, we have heard the stat and the record for the SEC in these bowl games so far. We all have our opinions on Diego Pavia. I'm in the same tone as you guys. Is it kind of fitting that his last college game goes up against one of the most smash mouth, in your face defenses in the Iowa Hawkeyes?
Yeah, and not only that, he's going up against a conference who hasn't lost in a bowl game yet. 6-0 is the Big Ten right now, so I think the Big Ten stays undefeated. Look, I just don't think Diego Pavia can get it done. I really don't. I don't think he's as good as everybody made him out to be. I think Vanderbilt just had a good team, good program, and a schedule that fit them.
Last one, and I'll let you have the last one on this, Brandon. We know that the Hawkeyes have a solid defense. Raphael's mentioned it as well. But we saw a few games this season where they were putting up uncharacteristically high amount of points. Do you like the under here still, or do you think Iowa could shock some people?
No, I like the over in this game. I really do. I think that Iowa can put up some points. I think Vanderbilt's good enough to at least score 17 on this defense, but I think that this could be a 31-17 type game.
All right, game number 2. We're saving the best for last, guys. And if you want to talk about distractions, I don't know if there's a single sports franchise in any league that is more distracted than the University of Michigan, but somehow, some way, the Wolverines got to find how to play this game. And for me, guys, this screams smash Texas with the points. Smash the over. You guys wanted to see Arch Manning become a Heisman candidate all over again. It happens today. Raphael, starting with you. You see the numbers there. What do you like in Michigan and Texas?
Yeah, I'm a little bit shocked that we haven't seen 7.5 pop up in this one, because I think what the bettors are looking at the same thing. Manning's going to play the whole game. He's going to want us to erase the bad start. I mean, he played much better in the second half towards the end of the season. So I think he wants to continue that momentum coming into next year. I just think Texas puts a beat down on Michigan. Does Michigan really want to play this game? We've heard all the rumblings in the locker room, the head coaches. I mean, it's just a bad head case. You thought LSU had head case in their bowl game. I think Michigan's head case is just as equal to that one. I think Texas wins.
Yeah, I mean, this is how do you come back from this, Brandon? If you're the Wolverines right now, how do you prepare for a game against a top program like Texas?
Well, I think you can move past the stuff that happened with Sharon Moore because they've already hired their head coach. And I think it was a great hire by Michigan. I think the problem here for Michigan tonight against Texas, well, this afternoon against Texas, is the fact that they're missing 12 to 15 players for this game. Like, that's going to be the problem for Michigan. That's why this is a smash spot for Texas. It almost screams for me at that money line price to maybe play Michigan just because stupid stuff happens in these bowl games because guys don't go out and they don't play as hard as they would in a college football playoff game because it is an exhibition bowl game.
That's a very valid point, but Raphael, come back to you. You hear the Michigan side of things, and I would argue that there's a lot of players who may be looking at the transfer portal because of all the drama happening in Michigan. So you have the transfer portal possibilities on one side, and then you have the story of Arch Manning trying to rebuild his Heisman candidacy going into the next year. Your thoughts on how the Michigan players could come into this one?
I like this is over 3,000 people to transfer portal already. It's not even open yet. I think that's just hilarious to me. I know people are going to say, oh, this is a bad bowl game. People don't want to play. But we saw last night TCU, a bunch of freshman kids playing their heart out because they just love the game or they're looking for a playing spot, or maybe they're going to hit the transfer portal and try to boost their stock. I can see Michigan doing the same thing. And I can also see Texas guys doing the same thing. Guys have finally got hit the field. Hey, look, mom, look, my friends, look, I'm on TV. Now I'm going to show you what I can do. So it's very meaningful for a lot of these players.
I absolutely agree. And I know Texas, their running back, Brandon, entered the transfer portal, one of the biggest moves to happen in the transfer portal. So for you, when you look at this number, is this an Arch Manning fest for the Longhorns today?
No, because look, what Texas does is they produce running backs. So I guarantee you they've got the running back to replace the running back. That's just what Texas does. And even if not, they've got Arch Manning's legs that can replace the running back too. I do think you do see a lot of Arch Manning anyway. I think this is a showcase game for Arch Manning. I think that's what Texas wants to utilize this for, is to show what Arch Manning can do against a defense that's going to be missing a lot of its key players today. So, yeah, I do think you see a lot of Arch Manning.
Raphael, let's wrap up this conversation with this, and it's going back to the first game we talked about. You got Diego Pavia in the early game. You've got Arch Manning. Do you think the way in which Vanderbilt plays or Diego Pavia plays could influence how we see some of these numbers or props move for Texas?
I think so. I think Peyton Manning's going to get money come in no matter what. If it's Peyton, Eli, his dad, it doesn't matter. If you have a Manning on your last name, you're always going to get money on there. But I would take maybe like team total over Texas. I know Brandon's already mentioned how many guys Michigan's missing. So if you're looking at a good prop, maybe look at Texas total touchdowns in the game, total team total over the game, because I think they put a lot of points on the scoreboard.
All right, we're going to get to the college football playoff game in one moment. I'm keeping you guys on your toes here just very, very briefly. Do you guys know the best game of the day? And Brandon, I'm going to ask you this, and it's not about the matchup. It's about the name of the bowl game. Do you know what the best game of the day is?
Yeah, it's the Cotton Bowl for the college football playoff.
Brandon, Raphael, would you like to educate him?
Las Vegas. Vegas Bowl.
What are you guys doing? We got the Tony the Tiger Sun Bowl between Arizona State and Duke. I mean, who doesn't love Tony the Tiger in college?
He's not
You're
the
still a kid who
Bowl.
eats Frosted Flakes, aren't you?
I don't eat Frosted Flakes. If you've watched the Coach and Bro show, I eat Frosted Yeets. Thank you very much. All right, let's get to the college football playoff game. And it is going to be a doozy. Ohio State and Miami for some of the marbles in the college football playoff. Say what you will about how Miami got here. And if they deserve all of that is neither here or there. We had the last 3 weeks to talk about that. Brandon, you've got some best bets on this game. That's all your best bets on this game. Break this game down for me.
Look, I think this game comes down to two things. One, the Ohio State defense and how much they can confuse quarterbacks, how much they can confuse offenses. And Carson Beck is maybe one of the more overrated college quarterbacks. And I think you saw that in that Texas A&M game, which is tough to say considering that they won that game, but they only put up 10 points. And that Texas A&M defense stifled this offense. And that Texas A&M defense is nowhere near what Ohio State is. Yes, they can rush the quarterback, but Ohio State can also rush the quarterback. And they have a secondary that is absolutely positively elite. It might be the best secondary in the country. I think they just shut this down. I think Carson Beck throws 1, maybe 2 interceptions today. I think Ohio State capitalizes on the mistakes. I think Julian Sayin, who, if it wasn't for Fernando Mendoza, would be the Heisman this year. I think Ohio State just rolls in this game. I think the offense turns it up. I don't think Miami's defense can keep up.
Raphael, do you agree with Brandon?
I do, but looking at the betting numbers and what people have come, this game reminds me of last night. So much USC money came in, and what happened? TCU snuck in and got the W. So much money came in on Oregon. JMU got the ugly cover at the end. So yes, Ohio State best team on paper, but can paper cover that -9.5? Scares me on this one. I like Ohio State because yes, people think, oh, Ohio State's coming off a loss. They lost to Indiana. The score is 13-10. It's not like Indiana beat them by double digits. It was a very close game. I like Ohio State. Covering that number is something that I don't want to touch. I think it's going to be an ugly game. I love the under in this one. I grabbed it at 41.5 when it first opened.
I see what you did here, Raphael. You just had to gloat that you had JMU with the points. Yeah, we got it. We got it, Raphael. We're all here every single day. We know you're our numbers guy for a reason. Brandon, let's have a little bit of fun with this game real quick. You have Carson Beck. We've already talked about Arch Manning and Diego Pavia. I would argue 3 of the most polarizing names at quarterback in college football this season. For your money, if you want to put your money where your mouth is, who do you think has the best performance of those 3 quarterbacks today?
Oh, God.
Oof.
The best performance might be 100 yards and no touchdowns. I mean, I guess Pavia. I mean, maybe. God, Arch Manning. I'm gonna go Arch Manning against that Michigan defense. I think.
I didn't think it was that hard. I set you up with a softball here. I thought it was easy. Raphael, who do you got between those 3 quarterbacks?
I think if Ohio State scores quickly and puts points on the board, I think Miami's going to have to throw a lot. So I think number-wise, maybe him, but I think Manning's going to have a field day with that Michigan defense. I think we're going to realize, oh, okay, now we know why he was a Heisman favorite coming in. He just had a bad start.
Yeah, I'm with you guys as well. I like Arch Manning the most. I've never been a believer in Carson Beck. And guys, let's not bury the lead. We got Bo Jackson on the field for the Ohio State Buckeyes today. So many weapons on both sides of the ball for Ohio State. I like Ohio State to cover, and it'll be tricky, Brandon. I'll let you finish here. I like the over in this game, but the problem with liking the over, Raphael, I know you like the under. The problem with liking the over Brandon, is I'm really going to need Ohio State to put up at least 30 to hit.
I think Ohio State puts up the 40.5 themselves. I really do. I don't think this Miami secondary isn't as good. They've got a lot more weapons than what Texas A&M was able to throw at them. And when you're looking at the top 2 wide receivers in college football on this Ohio State team, I think that's going to be a big problem for Miami's secondary, because they've also got, like you said, Bo Jackson to worry about. They've also got a couple of other wide receivers on this Ohio State offense that are almost just as good as their top 2 wide receivers. So, look, I think when you're trying to cover, Jeremiah Smith, and you're trying to figure out what you're going to do with Tate, and then you got to worry about other problems, I think it's a different ball game for Miami. I just think Ohio State is going to murder them. I think you're going to see a lot of passing yards today from Julian Sand.
Yeah, I think we're going to see an absolute display of offensive talent. Raphael, but you look at the start time at 7:30 Eastern for this game, given all the bowl games, and we're going to talk about the NBA here coming up in about 5 minutes. We've got early start times because of the holiday in the NBA. What is your advice to those? Because with it being a later game, should we wait and see if this line moves at all, or player prop lines move at all?
Player prop bets will. I don't think we're going to see that much. It wouldn't shock me if it goes back down to 9. I don't think we'll see 10 just because a lot of dog action has been coming in all bowl game season, especially during the college football playoffs. So I would think if it does come down, we see a 9.
Gentlemen, well freaking done. We've got some great games to cap off 2025 in college football bowl season. Plenty more coming up, especially tomorrow with several college football playoff games. And I want to thank everyone in the chat. I'm going to do something we don't do here a lot at the brand, Raphael. I'm going to give a little Raphael clap to Mr. Big Cheesy. Business will get handled when Coach is back. But you, sir, were correct. And I feel like sometimes we don't give Big Cheesy his props and his flowers. So we're going to go ahead and do that right here, right now. But what else we're going to do? We've got games all day on the hardwood. It is time to look at 2 of the biggest games in the NBA with our NBA showcase. All right, we've got 2 games, one of them being an early game. It is the Suns and Cavaliers. Listen, guys, if it was up to me, I would have just put the Timberwolves and Hawks on here, but that is neither here or there. I don't know who this Cavaliers team is. A couple days ago here on this show, I said that the Cavaliers would start to dismantle after the Spurs beat them, and then they went and put a whooping on the San Antonio Spurs. We know the Suns are just the Devin Booker Suns. Raphael, I'll start with you. Your take on this game. You see the numbers there on the screen.
Yeah, but the Devin Booker Suns are 19-13 this year, so I'm a little bit shocked at their record. And I agree with you. I have no idea what this Cleveland team is. Their last 10 games, they covered 2 of those games. And some of those wins that they covered were against the Pelicans and the Hornets. It's not like they covered against the Spurs, Nuggets, or any elite team. 6.5 is way too high for me. If I was looking to bet this game, it's either Suns or pass, but I couldn't lay 6.5 the Cavaliers.
Brandon, could you lay 6.5 on the Cavaliers?
No, absolutely not. Because I don't know who this Cavaliers team is either, but I do know who Devin Booker is. And I do know that this Phoenix Suns team is really, really good. I know they're 19-13, but this is a good basketball team. And they've been playing a lot better as of late. Beat the Spurs a couple days ago. I like this Phoenix Suns team a lot. I'm going to bet this at plus 195. I get Devin Booker and the Suns. Give it to me all day long. Take my money.
And guys, after the humiliation he suffered over the weekend, Mark Williams will be back. Yes, Raphael, go.
Suns are 22-10 against the spread this year, too. So, yes, it's Booker's team, but they're covering machines.
Well, that's the Dylan Brooks effect, right? And that's one of the we've got polarizing figures all day in New Year's Eve. You got Diego Pavia early on in college football. You've got Dylan Brooks. I mean, players that make you want to forget 2025, depending on how you feel about them. But this Suns team looking for their 5th straight. However, Raphael, I did a little research myself. They are 3-4 in 1 possession games. I think that means either the Suns blow this game out or the Cavs will win in a close one. The number 235.5. Do you like the over in it?
Ooh, it's a great number. If I was looking at anything to bet on this game, I would look at maybe Cleveland first half because the Suns are a second half team, especially Booker. He scores a lot more of his points in the third and closing out games. He's one of the best closers that we never talk about during the NBA season. So I like Cleveland first half, and if I like Cleveland first half, maybe take the shot at the over first half.
Brandon, I'm gonna keep you on your toes here because if you guys really want to hang out with the best NBA capper in the last 24 hours, which is me, look at Colin Gillespie and his points and his 3-pointers made. You can thank me tomorrow on this show. But what are you looking at here at the total line, 235 and a half?
We get it. You were undefeated yesterday. You won a lot of bets, and then you want to yell at Raphael for saying the same thing about being on JMU and talking about it. Stop it. Look, I don't think I don't think I'm going anywhere near any of the player props in this game. If I did, maybe a Devin Booker over. Anything other than that, I just really don't know what you're going to get today, especially in an early afternoon game in the NBA.
This game being in Cleveland. By the way, I'm only bragging about 24 hours ago, Brandon. Not. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. All right, we've got one other game on the books, and it's a fun one. Tommy sees one of his best bets is on this game, and it is the Knicks and the Spurs. Coming into the week, as we were talking about the Spurs being the best team in the NBA, which Brandon, I believe you said you feel that they are. They lost a tough one to the Cavs, who we just talked about. Your take on this one?
Yeah, I think they win this game today against the Knicks. I really do. This Spurs team, they're going to have some losses, just like any team, right? You're going to have those times where you're going to lose some games that you should win, and especially when you're playing all of these big games as the Spurs have been playing over the last week or two. Going up against OKC 3 times in like 5 days. They've got a lot of big games, and they won all 3 of those games. So you're going to have a couple of letdown spots. I don't think this is one of them for the Spurs at home against this Knicks team who can be hot and cold sometimes. And, I mean, dude, when you got Victor Wembanyama on your team, come on, stop it. I love this kid, man. He is so much fun to watch. So I'm going to take the Spurs. I'll give up the 1.5 tonight.
Raphael, you have a great memory, and I'm surprised you haven't sat here and called me out because I almost hate how much the NBA glorifies Wemby and the things he does. But he is a hell of a talent. Are you with Brandon on this one?
Yeah, you have to look at this number and then look at the schedule. Yes, they beat OKC, but they got whooped by Utah at home, and then they lose to the Cavaliers. So let's face it, if they would have won those 2 games and the 2 games or 3 games they beat OKC, this is a solid 3.5. So now you're taking the hangover effect against the loss in Utah, and then maybe, okay, they had to watch film, probably got yelled at, and they come back and lose again. This is probably redemption for these Spurs players. I love the 1.5 because we're getting great value of 1.5. If they would have won those 2 games, a solid 3, maybe even a 4. So you're getting 3 points better just because they had a hiccup after beating the best team in the NBA in OKC. I love the Spurs in this spot. Grab this number. It would be probably 2.5 by tip off.
Brandon, looking at some player props here, I'll just give the updated injury report. No Mitchell Robinson, no Josh Hart. That screams Wemby rebounds. No Devin Vassell as well. This is lining up to set up to be a great game for your boy.
Yeah, look, Wemby double-double might be on the table today. I like Wemby's rebounds today. I like Wemby's points today. I just love Wemby.
All right, well, thank you. We were able to pick that up. Listen. Well, here's my only problem, Brandon, and I don't want to make this a long discussion, but he's 7'5", and he does things that only 7'5" people can do, and we're supposed to be surprised by that.
He's 7'5", and he's got an outside shot.
Again, I just don't understand. We know he's talented. I just don't want to be surprised by a big guy doing big guy things. Raphael,
greatness.
Let's look at the other side, Raphael. You want to talk about greatness? Someone from our neck of the woods, all 3 of us in the Chicago suburbs, Stevenson's own Jalen Brunson. Raphael, is this a guy, when you look at Knicks games, that you want to specifically target for his player props?
Normally, I would, but not in this matchup. I think it's just a bad matchup because don't forget, people always want to think about Wemby and Kessel and Vessel, but there's a young kid, Harper, there that if it wasn't for Cooper Flagg, we might be talking about him maybe being rookie of the year. They're just so deep and so lengthy. I think that's going to bother Brunson today. So any other Knicks game, I'm always looking at Brunson points and assists. Not this game, because Santo is just too big and too lengthy all over the court.
Yeah, and you know what? Brunson's line, Brandon, at 28.5 over at BetMGM. Is that right where it should be, or do you agree with Rafi that the size will hurt?
No, yeah, I completely agree with Rafi, and it's about where it should be. I would just bet the under on that, though. And it's worth the squeeze for sure, because I don't think that he can get the points. I don't think he's going to get I'm looking at somewhere around 25, 26 for Brunson tonight.
Guys, I can't really put my thumb on it, but I feel like Jalen Brunson's just not going to have the best game without Josh Hart. I'm just saying. Gentlemen, very well done. We've got a full slate of college football games and NBA games. We also have a full slate of best bets for those of you who were not here when we started the show. We know you're getting your champagne ready, got your little confetti poppers ready. All you need now is cash tickets to be ready for you. We're going to go ahead and lock it in. All right, I'm going to read Big Tommy C's play since he is not here. He's on the Spurs money line game we just talked about, minus 135. We've just mentioned all the reasons why the Spurs should be the favorites in that game. Raphael.
We're going for Nebraska, Utah under 51.5 in a quiet bowl game that Brandon doesn't want to talk about. But 33 bowl games have been played and 20 of them have hit the under. So I really like this game to fly under because I have no idea who's Nebraska's quarterbacks are going to be. And then in college basketball, St. John's, Georgetown's under 155.5. Why is this total in the 150s? St. John's last 6 games, all of them have hit the under.
Brandon?
Yeah, look, let's talk about the only bowl game that matters. Not the LiveQuest Bowl, not the Tony the Tiger Sun Bowl, not the Smoke Bowl. Let's go to the College Football Playoff Cotton Bowl. Ohio State minus 9.5 at minus 110 is the play. Ohio State rolls tonight. And then Carson Beck under a half a touchdown pass. Look, this defense is going to stymie him. He's going to throw a couple of interceptions today. I don't think he gets into the end zone. Under a half touchdown pass plus 190.
All right, and if you're going to cash with the hottest capper at the brand over the last 24 hours, I did that just for you, Brandon. You're going to take on Brandon's Chicago Bulls, and you're going to ride with me in the New Orleans Pelicans on the money line. And just because Anna Claus does not end at Christmas, guys, give me the Timberwolves minus 5.5 against the Atlanta Hawks. Raphael, can you do me a favor for one last time in 2025 and make us smarter, please?
We're going to the Spurs games because the 8 of the San Antonio Spurs' last 9 games as home favorite against the New York Knicks have gone over the total.
All right. I love that. Gentlemen, without commercials, we did it for a whole hour. Feels like it's kind of fitting for what we do here at the brand. We always say, hey, if we're not on Stadium, we're going to shorten it up. And we just have a ton of fun.
Happens.
It never happens. Brandon, what are you watching today, and any reflection on 2025?
I am watching one bowl game tonight, and that is the college football playoff game. I'm just kidding. I produce a sports betting show. I'll be watching all of the bowl games. Some of them are good. Some of them are bad. Nobody really plays. Nobody really cares. And, hey, 2025 is in the books. I don't look back. I look forward. Let's go 2026.
Raphael, you're all over the books, in the books, out the books. What are you watching today, and any reflection from you on 2025?
Let's see. There's 4 bowl games. I think 7 or 8 NBA games. I think 10 NHL games. 27 college football or basketball games. I mean, it's because football's on TV. There's going to be other stuff, and then you got horse racing too. You got Saratoga. You got Fairgrounds. You got all these other horse racing riding on New Year's Eve. Should be a great day.
All right, well, horse racing, not on my bingo card today. NBA action does get started at 1 o'clock Eastern, so I'm very excited. In about an hour, we'll have action kicking off across several different leagues. Guys, very well done. I just want to say I'm obviously watching everything And Brandon, don't tell me you watch everything because you did not watch the Independence Bowl. I know that because I asked you if you did. I want to take this moment very quickly. Instead of telling you guys to go cash tickets and you take all of our best bets, that's what Coach is for. I just want to express gratitude to each and every single one of you in the chat, a part of this brand. I came along in April and I have made some great friends. I've learned a lot, both professionally and personally, whether it be about the business or myself. So that's a thanks to Coach, producer man, Raphael, guys like Brandon as well. So I just want to put a good cap at the end of 2025 and say thank you to all of you. And let's do it again next year. and as for a matter of fact, I don't even want to talk to you guys until 2026. So for Raphael, for Brandon, for Big Tommy C, and for producer men, always making me look like I have an ounce of talent right here at the brand. I am Mike Pendleton. We will see you guys with Coach back in the host chair tomorrow, the first show of 2026. Take care.